Are you sick and tired of gambling your hard-earned money on Madden packs? Well, look no further than my sponsor, MMOEXP, for the cheapest and the most reliable mug coins on the market. And don't forget to use code FERDY at checkout for 5% off. The link for their website will be right at the top of the description. Are you looking to take your Madden game to the next level? Look no further than civil.gg for the best ebooks on the market. Choose one of 2 membership options, and don't forget to use code FERDY at checkout for 25% off. What's going on, guys? Today we have the September edition of the Budget Demon series. I was waiting for Team Diamonds to come out before making this video, and today just felt like a good day to make this. We only have a few more days left in September, so I kind of had to make this video either today or tomorrow, I guess. But yeah, let's hop into it. I know this series is a series that a lot of you guys do enjoy, and it's not for everyone, obviously, but yeah, if you are new here, hit that subscribe button. We are on the road to 30,000 subscribers. The subscribe button for notifications. We post daily Madden 22 content. I also will leave a link for my Twitch channel down in the description. We are live almost every single night over on Twitch. If you haven't come through yet, I recommend you do. And as always, the shout out for today's video goes to my man Andrew Hardy. Shout out to Andrew Hardy for commenting the emoji on last video. So let's just get started. We're going to start with the quarterbacks, then kind of go through running backs, receivers, tight ends, and then get into the defense. So for our quarterbacks, we have Justin Herbert. This card's going for around 35K right now. The budget, by the way, for today's video is 50K. So if you have 50K, you can buy basically any of these players. There might be 1 or 2 guys that are a little bit close to 50K, but I try to keep it around that range. So Justin Herbert, set feet lead quarterback. You do have to power him up in order to get set feet. So that's kind of what makes Justin Herbert so good. And even if you power him up and invest the training into set feet, you should still be around or under 50K. So a very good option right there is Justin Herbert. And say being a pocket passer is not your play style, I have 2 options for you. The first one, Justin Fields. He's a little bit faster than our other options. That is Trey Lance, who has better throw power. So this one right here, either way you go, I mean, they're both W's, both have power ups, but Trey Lance is actually a little bit cheaper, even though he's a higher overall because of the Bears Team Diamond set. So Justin Fields going for around what 29K right now. I mean, it's actually pretty close, so can't go wrong with either. But if being a mobile guy is your play style, either of these 2 guys are just great options. So now we have our running backs, and it was actually kind of hard to find some good budget running backs. There really aren't that many in the game right now that are going for under 50K. But Nick Chubb, I mean, this card isn't anything wild, but does have a power up. This card's going for like basically 50K. His price will drop over time as the Team Diamond sets become cheaper and cheaper. But Nick Chubb, very frustrating card to face, and I believe there are actually there should be a few like tiers. I mean, it's not going to show me obviously, but there should right here maybe. There are a few tiers that, yeah, I guess you can go to, you could get them to an 89 if your training does start to pile up, but then you guys can see right here, 120K, much under 50K for the budget. So Nick Chubb is an option. I think even when he's not powered up, just based off his weight and his size, the card just plays like a bully. That's why I kind of like this Nick Chubb card a whole lot. And then I guess over time, if you do, accumulate training, you can always, kind of work the power up, and then maybe you can buy his redux whenever that card does come out, which I think might be a little bit more popular than what people think, because Nick Chubb plays really well in this game. Our next guy, I'm Antonio Gibson, 86 speed, 86 acceleration, receiving back, unfortunately. Or sorry, no, elusive back, unfortunately, not a receiving back, but good speed. And like I said, it's just been hard to find. There wasn't that many good running back options. I'm not sure why, but those are the 2 best I could find for under 50K. I'm sure there are some guys that I probably already put on the first episode that could be on here that have good speed, but for now, in around this price range, those are your 2 best options in my opinion. I'm also like DeAndre Swift has a card too. There's also the Devin Singletary as well, but I feel like Gibson's probably the best out of those 3. Now we have our fullbacks. I actually have 2 options here. The first one, Kari Blasingame, who has 84 speed with 86 acceleration at fullback. Great option. He's going for, I think, like under 10K right now. Really good option. Can basically do a lot of things. Even like he's a good blocker, obviously, good carrying. If you kind of want a guy to turn to in that short yardage scenario, Kari could be the guy for you. And our next guy is Larry Zonka. And I feel like Larry Zonka, this card's really expensive, pretty close to that 50K range. But I think Zonka is a guy that at fullback, as long as you have his like dimensions out there, his body, which is 6'3", 240, like you're making your fullback much better. And I feel like this card right here is the highest Zonka that you can get under 50K. So that's why he's on this list, because his body is just different, no pause. And yeah, he's just a great fullback out there. No matter what overall you're able to get Zonka at. So next up, we have our receivers, and there were honestly a lot of good options for a receiver. We have Terry McLaurin here, 88 speed, 87 acceleration. One of the better budget cards that we've seen so far today, if we're being honest. I mean, this guy's a monster. Next one up, Deebo Samuel does also have a +1 if we go here to his power up. And then we go to upgrade. He did have a team of the week +1 right here, which does take him to an 86 overall with 90 speed, which is really Really amazing, honestly, for this card, and he's 55k for this card right here, so that's a major W in itself. Next up, Deshaun Jackson, 89 speed, does have a power up as well, just like Debo. After EA added all these power ups to these team builders, which was a major W. But 90 speed Deshaun Jackson, I do like this Debo card a little bit more, just because Debo can do a lot more than just be a receiver. The card's also a great pass catcher as well, which is why I love him so much. So yeah, I mean, not pass catcher, I meant to say after the catch. Debo Samuel's also really good there. Good COD, high break tackle, and the card just plays well above his stats, honestly. Next up, we do have, I already went over him, Deshaun Jackson, and we have Jamal Agnew. This card came out 2 days ago when you're watching this, and Jamal Agnew, 89 speed, does have a power up as well. So this card is the cheapest out of the three, going for 7k right now. Power up's 11k. So let's see what the card's price is fully powered up, and it should be around maybe like 20k. Yeah, 20k right there. Perfect. So Jamal Agnew, great bang for your buck player with 90 speed. Not the best route runner or anything, but solid after the catch. And for 20k, it's hard to find a better card than what you're seeing on your screen right now. It's hard. It's really hard. Like, if you're really budget, this card is a really good option. So now we have our tight ends. OJ Howard, this dude was my tight end for a while to start the year. Just still plays great whenever I do see him out there on a Buccaneers team. Breaking tackles. He's 6'5", 250, so it makes sense. Also, yeah, great speed, great acceleration, going for around 32k right now, which is a major W, and also has a power up too. That's why I love these Team Diamond players so much, because now they have, I mean, not Team Diamond, Team Builder players, because now they have power-ups just like the rest of the cards in this game. So David Njoku, another card. I like OJ more, but I have seen some people that do prefer Njoku. I like OJ though. I definitely do. And honestly, maybe not right now, because right now team builders are a little bit more pricey because of these Team Diamond sets. So keep that in mind. If you can hold off maybe a few days, their prices will slowly drop. But yeah, their prices did spike because all these cards are in the Team Diamond set, so kind of keep that in mind. Next up, we have Core Elite Darren Waller. This card is going for 40k right now. Honestly, I do kind of prefer these first two guys over this Darren Waller card. But just like Nick Chubb, you are able to... That's not the right spot. That's not what I meant to do. But just like Nick Chubb, you are able to, if I go to his power up here, you are able to like get a few tiers in between his limited, which is going to cost you 133k. But over time, you might accumulate the training, and then once Waller does get his Redux card, you can just add it in there, and then you get this card eventually, which might be an option for you. Next up, we have another pretty solid budget tight end, and that is TJ Hawkinson. 82 speed, 85 acceleration, does come pre-baked with matchup nightmare and mid-in. So if you are someone that is scratching for, abilities for is scratching for training for abilities, these cards are always good options, because this card comes in built in with two of the best tight end abilities in the game, which is matchup nightmare and mid-in. Decent speed, good size at 6'5", 250. So yeah, some pretty solid options at tight end and receiver. My favorite though, probably this Debo card, going for a little bit over the budget, but I think this card just makes the most sense. He's solid after the catch, decent route runner as well. He's also, what is he? I think he's like, isn't Debo like 6 foot something? What is he? He's like, what is he? Oh, it's not gonna let me show it. Can I go back here maybe? Let me see oh yeah, he's 5'11", 215, so a pretty heavy receiver. But those are your offensive players. Let's hop into the defense. So now we have our defense, and the first player we have is Nick Bosa. This card just makes too much sense because powered up, he does hit that not that 89, that 90 finesse move. So that's kind of what you're looking for on linemen. You're looking for players that hit that 90 power moves with that 90 finesse moves, or players that can hit both, like Charles Haley and Myles Garrett. But Nick Bosa, for his price, he's going for pretty close to 50k. But on defense, powered up, this card will play much better than the guy you probably previously have there because of that 90 finesse moves. Might go a little bit over, because you do have to power the card up, of course, which could screw you a little bit. But even at 89, this card still does play very well. Next up, we have another team builder. That's Kwity Paye, and we all know why Kwity Paye's on here. 87 speed, 88 acceleration. The finesse and the power movement, maybe not the best, but does have, great speed, great acceleration. Also good hit power and impact block for a card that's going for around 31k right now, which is just a major W right there. So Kwity Paye, who do I like better between these two? Honestly, I'd probably say Nick Bosa for pass rush, but I think Kwity does more in like stopping the run and stuff like that, just because of his speed, his impact block, his tackling, and his hit power. We also do have Quentin Williams. This card is kind of like Nick Bosa. Right now, a little bit over 50k, but you see him selling for pretty close to that. He is dropping over time as we speak. So Quentin Williams, he's a really good run stopper. Does come pre-baked with inside stuff and unfakeable, which is two really good abilities for a defensive tackle. Next up, Sebastian Joseph Day, who has 70 speed, but I love his tackling and also his size. He's 6'4", 310. I feel like, rating players on their size at defensive tackle is kind of underrated in this game, because guys like Haloti, they play super glitchy because Haloti's like 330, I think. So having those guys that can just clog holes is just amazing. So that's why I have Sebastian Joseph Day here. Next up, we have Lorenzo Carter. These two guys right here, JOK and Lorenzo Carter. Both similar cards. They both play the same position. Earlier in the year, you saw a lot of people kind of having Lorenzo on one side, JOK on the other. These cards are still amazing just because of that speed, and now they have power-ups as well. So yeah, JOK, Lorenzo, Carter, two really good cards that are both going for around the same price at 30K. I mean, all the team builders for 30K are honestly pretty good options, and then you can power them up too over time if you find the coins in training, of course, which is what I love. And next up, we have a middle linebacker here. That's Miles Jack. This card does come pre-baked with mid-zone and secure tackler, which you've probably seen a lot of this card, to be honest, because he does play really well, even on like God squads. It's kind of why, like, even if you have a God squad, watching a video like this couldn't be helpful as well, because you might be able to sell a player that's really expensive on your team and kind of tactically downgrade. And Miles Jack's a good example of that. Good speed, great abilities, good tackling. This card just flies all over the place, and he's 6'1", 244, so he's able to, tackle those bigger backs and stuff like that. Next up is another middle linebacker, and that is Robert Spillane, another team builder. Yeah, I feel like this Budget Demon video has just kind of been like the best team builders to buy, it kind of feels like. But Spillane's still really relevant. He's 6'1", 230, and plays really well. I used this card for a little bit, but I didn't use him power up, but still 87 speed, 88 acceleration, good weight, decent hit power, stuff like that. This card just plays well in game. I am a big fan of this Rob Spillane card, and also does get Steelers and Titans camps now that he has his power up. Next up, we have Jalen Smith. He's actually an outside linebacker in this year's game. I'm not sure if with his power up you can switch his position. Okay, you can. He actually can play middle linebacker as well if you do want to go that route. But Jalen Smith, more of like a pass coverage guy, does have 75 zone out there, good hit power, good size at 6'2", 250, and also good speed, good acceleration. Jalen Smith, not only solid at outside linebacker, also a solid option at middle linebacker as well. Next up, this one is kind of a weird one because he is right at that 50K range, very similar to Quinnen Williams, but this brand new Byron Murphy card, the reason why he's on here is because the card is brand new. His price will continue to fall. That's kind of why I was a little bit skeptical of putting Quinnen Williams on here, because Quinnen's price might not fall, because I do believe that he is a part of that Jets Team Diamond set, which gives you one of the fastest corners in the game. But Byron Murphy, he just came out. His price will continue to drop every day. Comes with a power up as well. So here's the card fully powered up, 90 speed, 91 acceleration, a great zone corner, and he does pass the drip test as well, which is always a nice factor in MUT. So a great option here is Byron Murphy. Card came out a few days ago. The longer you wait, the more his price will drop. It's simple as that. Next up, we're kind of down to our final five here. We have Fabian Moreau. I'm sure everyone probably had this card. You might still have this card if you are even a budget player. 90 speed, you can power him up now to 91, but not the best in coverage. Just you could want this card for his speed, and also 6 foot's a pretty decent height for a corner. Next up, we have Dante Jackson, another card that I've seen play very glitchy. Does come pre-baked with short route KO and mid route KO, but 90 speed, 89 acceleration, and yeah, powered up will have the same exact speed as Fabian Moreau, and the card is 5'10", so a little bit smaller, and does weigh a lot more than Fabian does. Now we got our safeties. I actually had a hard time finding some good budget safeties. There really aren't that many, good safeties in this game yet. But we have Eddie Jackson. You really can't go wrong with any Eddie Jackson card, in my opinion. But this card going pretty close to that 50K. But good speed, good acceleration, great zone coverage. Does come pre-baked with tip drill, mid zone, and the Zone Hawk X Factor. So Eddie Jackson, always a solid option. I believe he wears number 5 this year, so does pass that drip test there. Next up, team builder Darnell Savage. He was going to be on here. 87 speed, 87 acceleration, good hit power to 84, 5'11", 200. And I had this card in the Packers team, can be powered up like the rest of the guys, obviously. And this card, every single Darnell Savage card plays great every single year. And our last guy today is the 85 Buda Baker. I really just couldn't find a strong safety to put on here. There aren't really any good options, so Buda Baker probably your best option if you are looking for a budget guy, and even he is going for like 25K. So if I were you, I'd probably invest a lot of your coins into safeties and corners, because there aren't that many good options right now for the budget guys. But I'd rather you spend your coins on defense and then use the budget guys. Maybe use like a Jamal Agnew or a guy like that on your offense. But yeah, I invest a lot of your coins into defense, especially this year. It will make defense a lot easier to play for you if you have some high overall guys, obviously. And also I'd probably pick like your team captain over there and maybe grind your Cam Chancellor. But there aren't a lot of good safeties out here for good budget. Honestly, like 47K for this card. Is it really worth it? I don't know. I don't know if it actually is. So that's kind of another tip for you budget guys out there. My tip always is, build your defense up with coins and then use budget guys on offense. And once you're good enough on defense, you can kind of start moving over to, building that offense and stuff like that. But yeah, that is going to do it for the September edition of the Budget Demon series. If you are still watching, let's comment the dollar emoji for a chance to be shouted out in the next video. And yeah, if you are new here, hit that subscribe button, turn notifications. We post daily Madden 22 content, and my two favorite cards on this list easily are Jamal Agnew and there's a Deebo Samuel card right here. This one right here, fully powered up. I love both these cards right here because they're just such good bang for your buck. I mean, you can get both these guys for like 70K. That's why I love these two guys. So those two guys are probably my two favorites. And yeah, as always, I will see you boys in the next one.